And the marriage goes like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other.
Oh, don't be such a baby.
Oh, you're way out of line. You know, I know we're supposed to be here to express our feelings, but she's way out of line. Honesty's one thing, but come on, she knows I'm sensitive.
Sensitive is not the word. Let me tell you about this delicate flower. Both his father and grandfather were Marines. They saw action in World War I and World War II. Him, 30 minutes on a carnival cruise, he is so nauseous that he's draping wet naps on his forehead and he's speaking in tongues.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
Exaggerate? A guy knelt down and administered last rites in Spanish.
How do you know? Do you speak Spanish?
When someone cradles you, makes the sign of the cross, and blurts out La Muerte, I don't think he's there to sign you up for the shuffleboard tournament.
Is she going to contribute anything constructive, or am I just supposed to sit here while she takes target practice?
Look, this is a process we need to go through.
Yeah, but even a prostate exam is over after 30 seconds.
You know, he actually believes that I am not doing my share, that I am not doing whatever I can to make this thing work.
And you believe you are?
Of course I am. It is not easy, but I do the best that I can. Wait, you're in a meat and potatoes marriage. You have got to learn how to make your own gravy.
What is that supposed to mean? Make your own gravy? What does that mean? For someone who never steps into a kitchen, she's making a culinary metaphors.
Oh, don't hand me that crap again. I am not his chef. We have an arrangement. We are both responsible for our own meals. We both work. We don't know who come home first or how late. That is how we do it. Now, if he has a problem with that, it's because of the house that he grew up in. His mother practically greeted her husband at the door with a Rob Roy in one hand, a evening paper in the other, and a pair of slippers in her mouth.
Is that it, Henry? Is there some kind of confusion about spousal responsibilities based upon, I don't know, some old-fashioned fashion customs?
No, she wants us to be responsible for our own stuff. That's fine. I just want to point out that I'm the one that has to do the food shopping for both of us each weekend. Somehow, I got stuck with that job.
And it bothers you? You have to do the food shopping each week?
If it bothered me, I'd complain. But I don't. I never complain.
Oh, no. He just takes his anger out on me by purposely forgetting to bring home the things that I asked for or things that I don't like. Cheaper, lesser brands.
You've got to be kidding, huh? I often buy things that I think you need that you didn't ask for. You know, I go out of my way to use foresight.
Oh, you'd have to go out of your way to use foresight. Foresight is so out of your way that you would have to pack a lunch and take flares.
You know, I think what Henry is saying is he'd like some help. Henry, would you be satisfied if Phyllis was to take a more active role, offer some more help around the household, and expand her household responsibilities?
The words additional and expand imply that something's being done to start with. She'd have to do a complete 180 for there to be any kind of discernible change.
What do you think about that, Phyllis?
I think it's quite ironic that Henry is finally telling someone else to rotate.
Aha! There it is, right there. You see? That's how she communicates.
Okay, look, let's try to back away from the situation and take a more objective look at the relationship.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, tell you what, why don't you tell me about some things that you do when you're apart from Henry? Like what you do for a living.
Well, I raise funds for PBS.
You believe that? The future of quality programming hinges on what she decides to spew out on the phone, huh? Who would think she, of all people, would be responsible for great performances?
Well, obviously not you, after that great performance I acted last night.
Oh, that's real nice, huh? And in front of a priest. Very nice.
Confession is good for the soul.
Really? Interesting that you'd want to get things off your chest, considering you spent our life savings augmenting it. Look, you see that? That's $2,000 worth of silicone, just so she could have what nature didn't provide. doesn't mean you can't provide it, but Home Depot sure can, and for a lot cheaper than $2,000.
Okay, look, how about a little less anger and a little more healthy introspection? How about telling me about some legitimate pet peeves?
Oh, you want some legitimate pet peeves? I'll give you one. We went out to a dance club not too long ago in Manhattan. Henry never likes to go anywhere. He is a hermit. But this time, I actually got him to say yes. Don't ask me how I did it, but he finally agreed to have an attempt at taking and having fun. So, we walk in the place, lights are flashing, people are dancing, everyone is having a great time. What does he do? Looks around and says, "Gee, I wonder where the emergency exits are." We haven't even ordered a drink yet, and he has the place in flames.
Is it ridiculous to make a mental note of where the emergency exits are?
No. You don't make a mental note. You map out an escape plan in your head so that you can escape through the thick smoke and avoid obstacles like potted plants and obese people.
Fine. The next time there's a fire, don't follow me.
Follow you? I wouldn't be able to find you. The minute you smelled smoke, you would have a wet towel on your head and you'd be out like a bullet.
Go ahead and fry then, okay?
At least I would have a good time before I get crispy.
Get your dog tags so I can identify the remains.
Oh, don't bother yourself. They'll use my dental records.
Ooh, that would be fun, huh? At her eulogy, we'll say she had a healthy fear of God and toothpaste. Don't you stop it this instant!
See what you did? I don't care.
What do you... What?
Oh, Bob and Susie are here. Gee, I forgot all about my 3 o'clock. Excuse me 1 second.
Yeah.
Gretchen, could you just ask them to wait a few minutes? Thanks very much. You know, I really don't want to end our session just yet, but I'd like to ask both of you if you would mind if I invited another couple to join us. They're getting married in July and they need to go through their pre-K now.
Are you sure you want them to see what marriage is really like?
No, more importantly, I want you to see what it's like for a couple to be really in love. Let's see. Maybe, Gretchen, you could send them in now.
What did you think? That I wasn't going to pitch you in mixed company? You know the rules. Every time you crack a knuckle, there's a pinch. This is what it has come down to now. Crack, pinch, crack, pinch. I don't care if we're at home or in the basement of a church. It is a disgusting habit, and I am going to break you of it. Crack another one. I dare you. I'll break so many capillaries that your arm will look like the road map of San Francisco.
Gretchen, where are they?
Really?
Oh, hello, Bob. Hello, Susie. I'd like to meet some friends of mine. This is Phyllis, and this is Bob.
Hello.
Come on, have a seat.
Oh, I'm so sweet.
Stay away.
Now, what I'd like to try is...
So, where were you two going on your honeymoon, huh?
Hawaii.
We met at a Hawaiian luau, so everything Hawaiian to us is, you know, special.
And we had our first date at a Hawaiian restaurant, and eventually we decided to get married at that very same table.
And he proposed to me over the poo-poo platter. Isn't that romantic? It's more than romantic. It's a forecast.
What's the date?
July 14th. Oh, that sounds nice.
And it's right smack dab in the middle of the summer. I hope the guests wear lots of sunscreen.
Don't worry, it'll probably rain.
What are you telling him that for, you fathead?
I'm just being honest. The odds are it'll probably rain. I mean, why get their hopes up? They should learn from our mistakes.
Our mistakes? I wasn't the one who booked the convertible limousine.
But I know it didn't close.
Because Model Ts belong in museums, not escorting newlyweds to the airport. You know, when you take something out of the museum, you can't expect the tops to work or the engine to go past that 15-mile-an-hour envelope.
It was a beautiful, mint condition Ford Classic. Oh.
Not only do we miss our flight, but we also backed up traffic for 10 miles on Labor Day weekend. 3 women gave birth in the backseat of their cars.
Big deal. The babies were probably conceived there, so why shouldn't they enter the world there?
What a perfect segue into our discussion about child rearing. One of the most important parts of raising a family is marriage.
Do yourselves a favor. Wait. Don't rush into anything until you're sure the relationship is solid.
Oh, I'm sure that Bob and Susie are very confident about their feelings for each other.
So how many kids do you want to have?
How's that?
How many kids? How many do you want to have?
Oh, 2. We talked about 2.
A boy and a girl.
Or 2 boys, or 2 girls. You know, whichever, 2.
Oh, 2 would be a blessing indeed.
Hold on. That makes it sound like after 2 we're going to stop.
Well, that's what 2 means. After 2, you stop. I mean, if we kept on going, it would be 3 or 4. And then my figure would just be long gone, and it would need the jaws of life to get me through a revolving door.
Wait a minute. I'm not sure I understand.
What's not to understand? You want a slide rule?
Hold on. So if we don't have a boy by the 2nd child, that's it? We stop?
We did say 2 kids.
Yeah, a boy and a girl.
Oh, that was just a preference, not a blueprint. Well, it's not like we buy molds and put them in the oven.
Can I have some water, dear?
Oh, sure, sweetie.
These are things that we can work out.
I guess so.
That's a good idea, because I'm sure he'd like to know whether or not he's going to be deprived of having a son.
Oh my
Yeah! Why do you get to call all the shots? Shouldn't this be an equal decision?
Well, when you start dilating and lactating, then we'll sit around the table and talk about equality.
I just want us to be happy.
You know, I read somewhere where certain men blame the women, you know, make them feel responsible for not having a boy, when it is a well-known fact that the Y chromosome can only be provided by the man.
Yeah. So if you want a boy when the time is right, you better have some of those Ys handy.
Yeah, right. I'll just stockpile them until you're in the mood.
Oh dear, did your button fall off?
Oh, yeah, I have it in my pocket. I was going to sew it on later.
Oh no, I'll do it for you.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I really want to do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't care what you do. I want you to stop putting demands on me.
I'm not putting demands on you.
Oh, I don't think he's putting demands on you.
Oh, shut up!
Just let me know if any other things you're going to spring on me, especially if it involves an entire squad of lacrosse players.
And I thought we weren't going to bring up the past.
It's kind of hard to forget the past when it involves an entire team.
You know what? I feel like a movie.
You know, me too. I was just thinking the same thing. Father, we're going to go now, but we'll keep in touch, okay?
Let's do this again real soon,
Yeah,
Father.
You know, for the last time, it's 3 players. Just 3, and at different times. 3 does not a team make.
3 does not a team make. This is what it's like arguing with an English major.